All right, get into the sunlight here. Feel that? It's kind of nice as this is being recorded. It's one of our first few days where we've got some great sunlight, and that's cool. It's also making this tie. I got this tie from my sister. It's a nice one. It's got sequins and it's very sparkly. Nice to catch the light. Here's our plan. This is an activity where we are going to be examining and analyzing some drawings from a guy named Seth Eastman. And he lived and worked here in Bdote, and we will define and figure out that term in just a few. If you forget what to do, go ahead and click this video instructional. You'll see it. It is the link to this instruction. If you're watching this instruction, don't click that link because it will just restart and you'll be stuck in a loop and you'll never get out of it because you'll just keep clicking that link and that will be no good. Here's our plan. This is what we'll be up to. We'll read through the instructional slides and we'll see that those are slides 2 through 9. We've got 7 slides to check out before we begin our activity. We will then view the drawings and we'll complete the question slides. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 question slides we are going to look at. They are all the same question. And then you'll help me to finish my sentences. I have 2 sentences on slides 19 and 20 to help me out. Let's check out some of our instructions and learn what we are to do. Our goal today is to be able to learn about Dakota society through the drawings of Seth Eastman. I must admit, some of them are paintings. And we'll be able to compare our observations about Native American dwellings to other information that we know about the Dakota bands, those 7 council fires that we looked at. You're going to be informing me about 4 of Eastman's images depicting life in and around Bdote. That's a word that we don't know. I've circled it. We're going to come back to it in a few moments. And we're going to look at 3 things in detail. We're going to look at encampments, river life, and camp life. We'll have 3 main themes to our images. Bdote. I wonder if we'll find out what that means. Yes, we will. We're going to use this slide to record our information. We'll use this slideshow. We'll put our answers right in here. Look at our 4 images, take a moment and spot the unspottable. It's super easy just to tell me what's going on. What takes a little bit of skill is to be able to look at that image and to really try and figure out what's going on, what's in the image, and more importantly, what's left out of the image. Seth Eastman decided what he didn't want to put into his drawings. It's not like a picture where you get everything in the image. He took and he put in specific things and he left out specific things. So we're going to spot the unspottable. Bdote, there's that word again. Now, Bdote is a word from the Dakota language. It has many meanings, and largely Bdote means where 2 waters meet. Now, there is many locations of Bdote. We would have Bdote where the Le Sueur and the Minnesota River meet. We have Bdote going all over on the Minnesota River. Anytime that another water or spillway or river would connect up to one body of water, it would be called a Bdote. Now, there is one major Bdote, and that is in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. This is a very important location for the Dakota culture, and this is seen widely amongst all 7 of the bands as the location where Earth was created, where this is a very spiritual center for this culture. And we are going to be talking about that specific Bdote. I've got a video here that you'll be able to watch, and this is going to walk you through that meaning again in a little bit more detail. At 1 minute and 40 seconds, it goes into talking about the importance of Bdote in the Bdote. From 0 to 1 minute 40, it talks about why that area was picked. Now remember, when you're watching this video, that he's going to talk about different bands of the tribes and different parts of the Dakota culture. The different bands are all part of those 7 council fires. Okay, this video is going to explain to you the importance between those council fires as to what the Mississippi Bdote is and why it's so important. We are not going to watch this in this video. No, we're not. We are going to be examining Seth Eastman's art. Seth Eastman is this guy right here. He's known for painting Native American life. He was a painter for the U.S. Army, and he taught painting at West Point. He is assigned to Fort Snelling. His main role there is to rock out and work through with some of the people at the base and to kind of define the areas of Fort Snelling. Not really good dad. He marries a Dakota gal who is named Stands Sacred. They have a kid together, and he leaves. He goes back to Washington and declares that his marriage is over. He teaches painting at West Point. While he's at West Point, he comes and meets a girl named Mary Henderson, and they get married, and they come back to Minnesota. Now, Mary Henderson is a pretty cool cat, and she ends up writing a few books about what life is like in the native cultures here in Minnesota. And Seth Eastman goes, and his job is to go around the state and to draw different military installations and forts here in present day Minnesota, and then bring those drawings back to Washington, D.C. to better off show what's going on in Minnesota. A good artist, not really a great guy. When you're looking at his art, we are going to check out a few different main themes. These are not, you'll see, requirements. These are some ideas that you can think about when you're observing. You can learn what he is up to, how he's depicting Dakota life. We're going to find out if Seth Eastman painted with any stereotypes, if he was bringing in something that helped to paint someone, to show somebody in a bad light, an incorrect light. Is he painting with any sort of stereotypes? And then the last thing that we can talk about when we observe it, the last idea, is what you think life would have been like in these specific areas. These are ideas. You don't need to talk about these specific ones. Your image slides, there are 4 of them. I'll just pick this one. Every one of them has a link. You can click this link, and it will bring you to a page that has this image, which you can zoom in and get really into depth and detail that is better than just trying to bring your eye up and look through and figure out what's going on. So if you click that link, you'll be able to zoom in really well and figure out what's happening in this picture. You'll see that there's some grids on the sides of these pictures. These are pictures that were taken by the Nicollet County Historical Society, and they often put color grids next to the images when they take pictures, and that helps to show calibration for the camera, some of the colors that were used. So we can ignore these boxes. They're used in archiving and storing the pictures, making sure they're taken real nice. Here we'll have our 4 images. After each slide, you'll see it talks about what did you observe. This is where we'll put down our observations. We can use either of those ideas that I talked about, or you can find something else. Remember, our goal is to spot the unspottable. Another Eastman drawing here. When we get towards the end, we're having 2 sentences to help me out, and you'll be helping out on these sentences. What differences did Seth paint between men and women? So we'll go back, we can look at those images, and we can see what were the men doing, what were the women doing, what differences did he have. You can delete the screen writing, and you can put your answer right there. And your second question, how might these images have been different if they were painted by a Dakota native? Now, this is a reflection question. Seth Eastman was not a Dakota native. He's going to be seeing life as an outsider. He's going to be seeing life as somebody who wasn't raised in the culture. So his observations are going to be a little different. What would be different if Seth Eastman was a Dakota native? What might he choose to put in? So then we can even start thinking about, what did he leave out? If we're looking at some of these camp pictures, what might he leave out? You've looked in the book, you've done some activities here in class. We know some ideas as to what was going on within our Dakota culture, and you'll be able to figure out what he might have left out. Read through the instructions, check out the drawings, complete your question slides, finish the sentences, and you will be all set. Refer to this video if you need some extra guidance.